and welcome to Games Radar's Battlefield 4 video review. I'm head of UK content Andy Harter, and I've been playing Battlefield a lot.
I'm UK Associate Editor David Horton, and I've not.
So, Dave, what do you want to know about Battlefield? I've played the shit out of it.
Right, that's what I want to know. Because obviously I'm a big fan myself. Played a hell of a lot of 3. Mm-hmm. Overall, how does it feel as an upgrade from 3?
I think it is a big upgrade. Shall we start with the single player?
Let's do that, because that was the dodgy point with 3.
Yeah, and many of the others.
Yeah.
So the single player is, I say in my review that it is worth a play, which is sort of faint praise, but that is better than the campaign in 3. I think what you want to know about the story is that the actual story itself is guff.
Right.
You have no idea what's going on. There was one point when I had to lean over and ask one of the other guys reviewing it, "Oh, who's that guy?" And he said, "Oh, it's X guy. He's actually the main reason for the entire plot." So, and I've been paying attention, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like I've just sort of breezed through shooting men. I've watched all the cutscenes and everything. So it's not particularly well explained, and there are glaring holes in it. But you don't play a shooter for the story. What you play it for is an excuse to shoot men for about 6 hours during a variety of really over-the-top, great-looking set pieces, and in that respect, Battlefield 4 totally delivers in single player.
Well, that's true, but how the main big problem I had with Battlefield 3 single player was that it just didn't feel like Battlefield. You know, it lost a lot of the DNA of why people play Battlefield. Yeah. I mean, how much of that does campaign manage to squeeze in this time?
It gets it back, actually. It does get it back. What you have now in single player is every time you shoot a man, you get points for it. So if you do a headshot, you get an extra 25 points. And you're constantly working towards goals which net you like a little medal at the end of it, and you're unlocking weapons all the time.
Yeah.
So in that respect, it feels an awful lot like multiplayer. It feels like you are getting properly trained up for the multiplayer.
Yeah. So does all that stuff, all the points, feed into the multiplayer then?
No.
Or is that a separate leveling system?
It's self-contained, but the multiplayer itself is... Like, people who play Battlefield 3 will recognise the structure. So you go in, you start killing dudes, you pick certain classes, there's all the same classes from Battlefield 3, and you level each individual class up that you have, and unlock weapons along the way.
Right, so onto the multiplayer, which is obviously the thing most Battlefield fans care about.
Yeah.
Obviously we've seen the mega destruction, the graphical sheen, all that being the major selling stuff so far. How much does that actually impact on the game, or is it a bit of a novelty?
It does make a big difference. I mean, especially with the next gen versions, like I've always played Battlefield on console. I've never been much of a PC guy. So now what console owners have got in the next generation console versions is 60 frames a second, running at 1080p on PS4.
Yeah.
And you know, it's rock solid. It's absolutely rock solid, and you've got 64 players as well. So that makes a huge difference. So it's such a polished game. It just feels absolutely solid. And in terms of visuals, I mean, it looks brilliant. It doesn't look quite as good as the PC version running on ultra settings on mega PCs, but I mean, those PCs must cost an awful lot of money.
How many people actually do that, you know?
So, I mean, it looks fantastic on PS4, and the destruction as well. It's a visual thing, but it really genuinely adds to gameplay. It's totally taken it back to Battlefield Bad Company 2 levels. So you can smash entire houses down, completely bust walls open. It has such a big impact on the game, and the Levolution stuff is great too. Yeah,
I mean, is that as big a focus as it seems to be? You know, when you see a skyscraper thing coming down, you think that's going to be a game changer, or is it something that just plays one part in the overall?
Yeah, I mean, every map in multiplayer has a Levolution moment, and it changes the gameplay more in some maps than others. There's a map called Flood Zone, which you might have seen footage of, where the entire city streets flood.
Yep. So
all of a sudden you're fighting in boats and fighting on rooftops, stuff like that. And there's one called Lapsang Dam. Oh, I'm not saying that right. Where the dam sort of breaks open and all this rubble comes down and starts smashing things up. And obviously, if you get caught by that, then it's curtains for you.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, every map has a Levolution moment. Interestingly, every map as well scales to fit every mode.
Right.
So you can play between five aside, 5 players per team, all the way up to a full 64-player battle.
Yeah. So in terms of the player cap, obviously it's gone up for console this time around. How much of a game changer is that, having played a lot of 3 previously?
It is a big game changer. Again, for the console versions, PC players are sat there going, "Oh hey, we've been playing with 64 players for ages. Welcome to the club, guys." Yeah, it's a big game changer for console. There are a few new modes. Some are hit, some are miss. Obliteration, which is like a single bomb, take it to an enemy base, blow something up. That is genuinely fun. I really enjoyed doing that. The other one is called Diffuse, and that is not so good. It's like Counter-Strike. It's 5v5. You get 1 life, and you've got 2 points to plant a bomb.
Yeah.
And you're on either the attacking or the defending side. It just doesn't fit in with the rest of Battlefield 4's multiplayer, which is like big team, proper squad play stuff. In this, like during we only played like 6 or 7 game modes of that, and it's quite short. But even within that short time, people had already taken to like camping in the corners of rooms and sniping and stuff, and it just wasn't any fun. So I didn't really enjoy that.
Yeah, I noticed earlier on when you mentioned you pulled out the visual stats on the PS4 in particular. Is there a sort of disparity between the two?
The review that's up on Radar at the moment, I wrote that. It's based on the PS4 and PC version. Microsoft do not want us to review the Xbox One version.
Okay.
Read into that what you will. I have played the Xbox One version and can say in the context of a preview that to me it didn't look as good as the PS4 version.
Fair enough.
But that may change before launch, and we may well write an Xbox One review closer to the console's launch. So thanks very much for watching. I hope that's given you an insight into Battlefield, and we'll see you later.